today we're here to do what is called the third convocation of our religious leaders. So my dear brothers, without much ado, I want to welcome you all from the different parts of our nation, those who have come from far and wide, the religious teams and religious groupings, our sponsors, our supporters, our partners, and all those who work with us, and mainly our faithful out there who are also praying for us. This is our business. We're not here to campaign for this party or that party or this party. We're not here to campaign for any religious group, but to campaign for a peaceful general election in this country which is fair and free. So with those few remarks, my dear brothers and sisters, allow me to say once again, with these few remarks, I declare this convocation of our religious leaders officially opened.
This election would be very closely contested. And the closely contested elections the world over are very tense. Many tactics are used. We only have 1,883 seats to be contested. But you can see that the number of aspirants is at 15,000, and only 1,800 are going to actually occupy those offices. The political parties that have been cleared have increased to about 83. Your Grace, practically every governor in this country now has a political party. But the tensions are, and Your Grace, you spoke about this, are ramping up across the country. The NCIC, the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, is telling us that the potential for violence is likely to be very high because of the stakes that are involved. So where you are, two of you, can you please caucus and tell us, elections 2022 will be A, peaceful, free and fair, B, peaceful but not free nor fair, C, violent, not free nor fair.
Let us be realistic. It is C. If we do not arrest the situation, 2007, 2008 might look like child play.
Cyprian is C. The current situation is C.
We resulted to B. The past experience that we've seen, 2007, 2008, I think no Kenyan would want to be in that situation. So it's just a matter of tumalize hii maneno twende. You know, they don't want to know who will be na maisha iendelee. Thank you.
So generally it may be peaceful, but not free and fair because of our system. As we know it, it has not been fair.
People are physically hurt. They are working hard to say, let us not fight. And like somebody said, they will say, let us deal with it and finish with it. And very many people in Kenya do not even care about fairness. Mtu aingie aende afanye. So we say there will be peace, but there will be no freedom and fairness. Thank you.
If we do nothing, it can even be worse. There could be no elections. But if we take our positions and be proactive, educating, informing, engaging the different stakeholders, we can improve all these to A.
Yes.
We can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yes.
But that's why I think we're here.
All these issues of economy, all these issues of unemployment cannot be fixed if you don't have accountability, if you don't address the problems of corruption. But yet that seems to have fallen off the national conversation. It is possible still to bring issues of accountability and impunity into the national conversation if one of the presidential candidates picks it up and makes that part of their key platforms. And I think that's part of our contribution as religious actors, as civil society actors, to encourage them to pick this as campaign issues. Asante.
When we come to voting, we see very low turnout. What will be the problem, and what will be our responsibility to encourage people to vote?
Yes, I think there's a big question about voter apathy. When we monitored the registration last year, a lot of the young people are saying they want to be paid to go and register. Say, why should I go and register so that you guys can go to parliament? A lot of the electoral officials were actually struggling because they had been given targets, but they couldn't meet them because these people want to be paid, they want to be given fair. It does seem that we need to have that conversation, that a lot of the young people don't feel that the political systems and the electoral system as it is working for them.
We have asked the IEBC, and this is maybe an area that also the religious leaders can be able to help us, to help us institute a people-centered approach to the conduct of elections in this country. It would be, how interesting would it be when IEBC goes to the coast, for instance, we are seeing the chairman of Bukati, Afula Chebukati, with the Kaya elders in the Mombasa discussing some of the issues in that region, or meeting the Njurinjeke in Meru over some of the issues in that region. That is a people, you want to make sure that the election which is being conducted, if you want to gain trust and the confidence of the people, you must be seen to be working with them, not just within the formal elite corridors when you're running the exercise of a public engagement, that is the election. So we need to encourage IBC to reach out, to come to DRG, work with DRG very closely. That the religious leaders in the country, they should be able to listen to you and to work with you and to consult with you. So if you're to make this country look like we are carrying out an election which is on behalf of the people of Kenya, then that connection needs to be done. Our hope is that we can be able to have credible elections come the 9th of August, 2022. I thank you.
I wanted to ask, among all the things that we've not done as a country, can we have what we call priority legal frameworks that are conditions sine qua non, that we must have them before the election, and what can be treated as work in progress? So that again, prioritizing on what is very necessary, we can have them to prepare for the election.
What we need between now and the election are the laws which can be able to instill some level of political hygiene in the entire process. And those two bills, the political parties bill, the political party primaries, bill, is also very critical, including the SIG bill, because the issue of two-thirds gender rule can be at least guaranteed. You see, what Bishop is saying is that after the elections, that's the time that the Chief Justice can now say this parliament is unconstitutional after looking at the numbers. But can we do something to the numbers before then? Those three bills, in my view, if passed, I think they would be able to make some chances that we could even achieve the two-thirds gender rule if political parties behaved. So it's an area that we need to look at.
Religious leaders should regulate on hate speech, and also on Sundays, on Fridays, on Saturdays. Can we make it something that we do every time? Talk to the people and sensitize them against cheering those who are involved in hate speech. IEBC has the task, in conjunction with the other offices and the Office of the Ombudsman, to create laws that disqualify the candidate from office. That is stiff penalty. I remember Bishop actually came up with that proposal. What we need are stiff penalties. And for those who are eyeing political seats, what other stiffer penalty than you are disqualified? Go home.
The security apparatus are ready for general security of the country. But specifically speaking about elections, we can say that the behavior and conduct of the security apparatus, and especially the leadership in terms of our area of security are what are causing fears and also perception to many of us that we are seeing the security is not ready due to the perception that is created from their conduct.
All political parties need and should be able to present to the people prerequisite manifestos. Then they need to be transparent and should have definite membership. And to be able to do this, the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, because this is already in law, like we have already had, is the duty of the ORPP to ensure that they strongly supervise that this is done. Then the campaign agents also should follow the same with the political parties.
But what we discussed is actually the heart of elections and electioneering and all the processes which we have spoken of. And that is the idea which is contained in Article 1 of the Constitution, that people are sovereign. And that all these mechanisms we've spoken of are an expression of our sovereignty and how we will safeguard it. And that is why we have all these processes. And therefore, the principal stakeholder becomes the voter. And therefore, awareness of the voter, of the citizen, in terms of voter education and in civic education becomes central in terms of the success or otherwise of the exercise we will have in August.
On the part of readiness, I think it has been canvassed here that we have the laws in place. So if we are to look at readiness of IEBC, for instance, we can say they have the laws in place. So in that aspect, you can say they are ready. They are prepared their documents, even the one that they are deploying for the 2022 elections. We have that document with us. But we are also aware that they operate in a country that we are never satisfied. We are always taking them to court. We are always faulting them every step of the way because of exactly what I'm going to read through in the weakness part. So currently we are aware we are less than 7 months to election. Our IEBC is still looking for a CEO.
I have a few people in US who are young, they call me uncle. They think I can answer everything. They were asking me what are the preparations for their voting. And a friend of mine told me there are 3 million eligible voters out of Kenya. So please, I would like this to be addressed and maybe explain a little more. Thank you.
In 2017, we registered in the East African countries, and then we added South Africa. So for this general election, we have added other countries. We have added the UK, the US, Germany, Qatar, Canada, and UAE, 36 countries, and South Sudan. So in fact, the whole of this week, all registration officers are traveling to all those countries to start registration for the next 15.
There are also a big concern, even as we go to these elections, the cost of elections in Kenya have been rated very, very, very highly. Lots of money is spent on different things. Shilling and the 100 note and so on. What can we do as religious people? What would you wish us to do, or as Kenyans, to reduce the costs of elections?
Unfortunately, it may be true, because what you are trying to do is to legislate trust in Kenya. Because it is very painful, we are always exporting jobs. How? We print ballot papers outside the country. Because we don't, this is, printing a ballot paper is a very simple matter. It can even be a paper like this, which you tick. In a country like Gambia, what are they using? They are using marbles with different colors. You put, and it is for this party. And they are able to believe their own elections. But the problem in Kenya is we don't trust ourselves. If we give it to a local supplier, for example, watasema huyu anaegemea mrengo fulani, and it will come with pre-marked ballot papers. So we can do that. But if the political players are able to agree and accept, this is a very simple matter which can be done. So the ballot paper in Kenya is even, the security features, they are more than for even the Kenya currency.
So use us where you think we can, and there are many ways we can. Let us be there. We are available from the smallest station in north and south, through the churches, the Muslims, the mosques, through all those people who pray, and others who belong to the even traditional religions. There's network everywhere. Use our network, and there will be no gaps.
If we were to pick the way forward from the presentation, and we are leaving this room, what are we saying we are going to do going forward? And the idea is that between February and April this year, can all the religious coordinating bodies, the RCBs, plan for county-level prayer sessions? When are we doing the prayers with IBC, with the Chief Justice and the judiciary, the police, etc.? Also, in terms of the mediation work, focusing on the head of state, the deputy president, the Honorable Raila, at the national level. What messages and which bishops and which religious leaders are appointed to go to these leaders so that they can deliver a message of these actions are helping and these actions maybe are not helping. The third is the outreach, advocacy, and visibility meetings with the Chief Justice, the Inspector General of Police, the Minister for Interior, the IBC itself, parliamentary committees, and leadership of the National Assembly and Senate. Also, strengthening the monitoring and observation and rapid response, so that it's not just monitoring, but once we get the feedback, then what rapid response? But we should be seeing helicopters moving out of Wilson with the religious leaders to where there's conflict, like now in Aror in Kerio Valley. Then finally, it's about convening the dialogue reference group with the other sectors, the multi-sectoral forum, which brings together the other 9 members of the dialogue reference group, including civil society organizations. And why is this important? So that there's a buy-in of the strategic plan that Susie has spoken about. There's need to get all the other sectors, trade unions, women's organizations, civil society organizations, youth movement, to buy into the religious leaders, the convocation strategic plan that has come out of this convocation.
We conclude by calling upon all Kenyans to ensure and join in praying in the words of our national anthem, O God of all creation, bless our land and nation. Want to pray that may God bless Kenya. Thank you and God bless.